quarterfinal round. One more team will punch its ticket after tonight's game. Michael Krause was a question mark coming into this game, suffered a concussion. He will suit up for Virginia. 3 assists away from a 40-40 season.
Medically cleared to play on Thursday, so he missed the bulk of practice this week. There's a good look at Pat Spencer. Renaissance man, attackman for Loyola, 55 helpers. He's athletic, he's got great vision. He can take over a game.
Lacrosse After Dark from Charm City on the campus of Loyola University. Mike Orafije and Justin Schwenk at the face-off X. And Schwenk picks it up for Virginia. Second meeting of the season between these two. They played in the season opener back on February 10th. Virginia won in double overtime. Dox Aiken, who has the ball now, scored the game-winning goal. Virginia will set up on offense. Matt Moore, the ACC Freshman of the Year. And now it goes behind. First touch for Michael Krause. Has it poked loose by Foster Huggins, the Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. And Quint, that's his specialty, takeaways, leading the nation in caused turnovers, but Virginia able to get it back. Moore. Mikey Herring on the inside. He slips and falls. And into the cross of Jacob Stover it comes as Loyola will clear. Zach Davliakos. Now Jared Minslav, part of this great Loyola defensive midfield. Minslav, Begley, and Davliakos, 3 seniors, all captains.
Interesting that Loyola defensively on that last possession, double polling the Virginia midfielders. They bump a pole up to Moore and Aiken. They put a shorty down low on DeMario.
In goal for Virginia, Alex Rode, the freshman, #1 goalie coming out of high school. Alex McGovern, the junior who began his career at North Carolina. This is John Duffy, the junior captain from Portland, is shooting wide. First Oregonian to play for Loyola. And now we get the first touch for Pat Spencer, who Charlie Toomey, the Loyola head coach, calls as good as anyone that has played the game. 6'3" with vision, the ability to feed and finish. Kevin Lindley, a freshman attackman. Spencer flanked by 2 freshman attackmen, both southpaws, Lindley and Aiden Olmstead. Duffy, driven back. Here is Jay Drapeau. 4 goals in the Patriot League Championship against Lehigh. Loyola winners of 7 straight. McGovern didn't get much on that shot. Rode, he's been working on the outlet. Little too high for Will Rock, who gets it back. Rock. Shot and a save. Stover. Rebound is loose, picked up by Loyola. That was a good early look in transition for Virginia.
Tell you, both teams like and want to run tonight. Impressive start for that Virginia defense. Loyola's a great passing team, Anish. And it looks like Virginia's kind of daring them to dodge and score unassisted goals.
For Loyola, the 6th trip to the NCAA tournament in 7 years. Virginia missed the tournament the last 2 years. Got a big win against Syracuse in the ACC semifinals to secure a spot in the tournament this year. Olmstead from the wing. That's a good low lefty shot, feeding the crease. Drapeau stoned by Rode. Quint, your keys for Virginia as the Hoos turn it over.
I think they have to score in 3 stages of offense. That is early offense or transition during their sub phase and then in 6-on-6 half field sets. And they've got to show Patrick Spencer a variety of defensive looks, whether it's a shutoff, an early double team, a boxing one with a zone. They can't leave him out on Hooper's Island.
And that first meeting this season, Spencer, 3 goals, 2 assists, and Scott Hooper had difficulty staying with him. Drapeau, his 40th goal of the season, and Loyola on the board first.
Senior from Massachusetts, shoots it at over 40%. Double is drawn, great ball reversal, and with his feet planted, whether it's righty or lefty, Drapeau doesn't miss.
Jay Drapeau, the most goals by a midfielder in Loyola history. First team All-Patriot League selection. And we go back to the face-off X. Dox Aiken picks it up for Virginia. Here comes Matt Moore at a big ACC tournament, 4 goals in the semifinals against Syracuse. Now Aiken using that quickness. Had Laviano on the crease. And another turnover by Virginia. The Cavaliers sloppy early.
Greyhounds defense brings a bite. Number 2 in cost turnovers in the country. They are terrific at double teaming the ball, staying on it.
That time, a failed clear, a poor pass. Ian Laviano, the intercept in the goal. And Virginia has tied it.
Wow, you got to shake that one off if you're Loyola. This is the definition of a giveaway. Not sure why Foster Huggins felt that that pass was the right one to be made, and you see Stover, he's got no chance here. Just a total giveaway.
Laviano ate well in the season opener, his collegiate debut. 5 goals against Loyola. Face-off violation against the Greyhounds. And Corey Harris has it for Virginia. Michael Krause, 80 points on the season. He's put together the 2nd highest point total in any season by a Virginia Cavalier. Tied with Steele Stanwyck. Only Doug Knight with 86 points had more in one season. Here's Mike DeMario. He's been hot of late. 18 goals last 6 games. DeMario against Brian Begley. Now Regan Quinn, fake the shot. Quinn firing high, beating Stover. Lars Tiffany told us he needed someone to emerge from the shadows for Virginia to win. Regan Quinn was one of the players he highlighted.
Freshman. DeMario deals with the double team right here. Watch the pump and go. Left-handed jumper on the run. That is sensational, the way Quinn is able to capitalize on the overzealous approach. Pump it, change directions, and go.
Quinn, a top 100 recruit out of high school. Bailey Savio, younger brother of former Loyola faceoff man Graham Savio at the faceoff X for the Hounds against Schwenk. Savio wins it ahead. Savio, Aiken forces it loose. And now Rode has it out of the goal. Nice swim move. Dangerous clear with Pat Spencer all over him. Spencer, an underrated rider. Strong part of his game, and you saw it right there. Loyola trying to keep it in bounds. Last touch Laviano and Virginia. It'll come back to Loyola. Now the officials want to talk things over. PJ Colello, Bob Ritchie, Keith Glock, the officials tonight.
Advantage Virginia on that stoppage. They were able to substitute a quick restart would have favored Loyola and an easy clear.
Quint, your keys for the Greyhounds.
You have to defend the big three, and that's Michael Krause, Doc Aiken, and Matt Moore. They are the primary dodgers for the Cavaliers.
10-man ride for Virginia here.
And then diagnose Virginia's defense in terms of their double teaming mentality. Anisha, are they encouraging on assisted goals? Are they early to double?
What would you do against Loyola?
Well, I think Loyola is a terrific passing team. Number 6 in the country in assists per game. So I want to make them score unassisted goals. I want to make them beat me off the dribble, not with passing.
Olmstead plays it to the wing.
So I'm slow to go. I'm slow to double team.
Now McGovern against Dave Smith. McGovern shooting wide and low. Alex McGovern was on the North Carolina team in 2016 that beat Loyola in the semifinals en route to a championship. Here comes Spencer, had the step. Spencer shoots wide. Pat Spencer, 3-time Patriot League Player of the Year.
He glides and then he bursts. He can kind of put his defender to sleep at times with his pace, and all of a sudden, boom.
Here's Kevin Lindley, 2-time Connecticut State Player of the Year. Now Olmstead. Over to Duffy. Duffy against Connors, trying to get free. McGovern backing down the shorty, Dave Smith. Fake the shot.
Virginia holding strong in these one-on-one matchups.
Shot clock against Loyola. McGovern will attack the shorty. McGovern inside roll. The goal is good. There is a flag down.
By the goal.
McGovern played attack last season. He has shifted to the midfield.
Hold right down by the goal. No penalty.
There is no penalty. And just when it looked like Virginia was winning the one-on-one matchups, watch the inside roll by the big lefty. Contact, roll to the inside, in business. Physically impressive Pat Spencer is.
He told me yesterday when he's done playing lacrosse at Loyola, he wants to use his graduate year to play basketball. That's the type of athlete we're talking about, to play Division I basketball.
Well, and talking to the SID here at Loyola, Ryan Eigenbrod, he feels that Pat could fit into the rotation. Spencer, every fall and winter lunchtime, gets his lunch in the cafeteria, brings it to the gym, sits solitaire by himself at the scorer's table, and watches Loyola basketball practice every single day.
He was telling me he still helps to coach his brother's team at Boys Latin. Mark Van Arsdale, the offensive coordinator for Loyola, described Spencer as Steele Stanwyck with Kyle Harrison's athletic ability.
That's pretty good.
It's 2 Tewaaraton winners. Here's Doc Aiken. Matt Moore couldn't get it. Loyola picks it up off the scramble. There's that Loyola double team. We'll talk more about that through the game. Davliakos, his pass too high for Spencer. Loyola likes to linger on its double teams.
Sometimes they kind of bait you into thinking you've got your man beat. They show the double team, and so the ball carrier typically decelerates. He slows down, and boom, from behind, Here comes the trail check. It's like a pair of pickpockets in the subway. There's some distraction, boom, and then the damage is done.
Rode chucks it downfield. Nearly another turnover for Virginia. Lars Tiffany was telling us the offseason point of emphasis for goalie Alex Rode, outlet passes.
Yeah, it starts with his feet. So if you're a young goaltender watching him, you want to have the same feet as a quarterback in football. A nice step towards the player you're throwing the ball to.
More against the long pole, Davliakos, and here's Kraus. He's been quiet so far. Coming back from a concussion. And there you see that Loyola swarming defense again, forcing a turnover. 5 now for Virginia.
Turnover city in Charm City.
Virginia 15 turnovers per game. You have to take that stat and put it into context. They do play more possessions than most teams. But we saw in the ACC championship against Notre Dame, that turnover number was north of 20. Right now, Virginia has more turnovers than shots. Second midfield on for Loyola. Dre Powell still in there. Saved by Rode. If Rode can improve his outlet passing, boy, it adds another dimension to Virginia's tempo and pace and transition offense. Dre Powell, aggressive ride. Rode trying to get free. Now Dave Smith up ahead to Laviano for the clear.
Virginia misses Ryan Conrad on those settled clears and inbound clears because he was just a human punt return man. Get him the ball and have him leg it over.
And a threat to score. Conrad played in the season opener against Loyola. Here's Kraus. There's the double, and the ball hits the deck. Paul Vallant knocked it away. And now flags.
Anish, you called it. This is the classic Loyola double team.
Can't hit the guy who's on the ground, so it should be 1 minute, but I don't know yet. I think that's what it should
Geneva Convention, but no one reporting what they talked about. Charlie Toomey's a fighter, folks, let me tell you. He will scrap. Here's the double team. Huggins, trail check right there as the double team presents itself. Could be a push. It's contact with a man when he's on the ground.
Sorry, I thought he was coming over here. I'm sorry. Right? All right, we got 10. All right, we got a push. 30 seconds.
Legal procedure, number 10, illegal procedure. Give him that. He didn't give it to him.
He said 10 white in front.
Thought he said 10 white, but the penalty is on Virginia. Now we get another whistle.
Nobody's in a good mood, Anish, after a 2-hour and 15-minute rain delay.
30-second push on 10.
Looks like Virginia wanted to shut off Pat Spencer. Spencer has very, very few extra man points this year.
It's a 30-second push. Mike DeMario taking a knee. And now Loyola with the man up. Duffy plays it back. Bobby Austin now feeding inside. Road turns it away. Rebound comes out to Will Rock. Rock in transition. 5 assists this year along with a goal. Over to Laviano. Early on, the one matchup Loyola has won has been Foster Huggins against Michael Krause.
Alex Rowe, the freshman goalie, has shown up in his hometown. Played at St. Paul's, which is about 5 miles, right up 83. He is ready to go tonight. Cavalier goalie sharp.
More posting up. There's the double. Gets rid of it quick. Final 40 seconds of this opening quarter. Virginia playing 5-on-5 here. Rock is on as a pole. Loyola getting Mintzlaff back on. So now Rock's going to run off for Virginia. And Regan Quinn on to complete the Virginia offensive personnel. Aiken and Krause without a point. Here is Krause against Huggins. The Patriot League Defensive Player of the Year. Moore against Mintzlaff. Moore maneuvering through traffic. High bouncer. Laviano has it, less than 10 seconds. Laviano, Quinn, saved by Stover. There's the Patriot League Goalie of the Year. Stover, downfield, that was scary for a moment. And it goes out of bounds.
Stover's got a goal on his resume this season. Very clock aware. Scored against Boston University. The Hounds off to a strong start. Alex McGovern, Orifice, and Spencer off of face-offs.
Coverage of the NCAA championships continue this weekend on ESPNU. For more information on NCAA men's lacrosse, log on to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. The winner of today's game between Loyola and Virginia will face Yale in the quarterfinals in Hempstead, New York next weekend.
Valiant effort by UMass and the Minutemen today under Greg Cannella. CAA champs, an outstanding season. They won 11 straight games. But Yale, big playoff win.
Yale was 1-5 in the NCAA tournament this decade, after really being the preeminent team in the Ivy over the last 7-8 years. And that senior class, led by Ben Reeves, has not been to championship weekend. A lot of pressure will be on Yale next week.
Did it with offense today.
Mike DeMario is wide, race to the sideline, won by Loyola.
That's basically another turnover.
It is.
Virginia had 6 turnovers in the first quarter, and that's a turnover.
In lacrosse, on a shot that goes out of bounds, possession awarded to the player that's closest to the ball where it goes out of bounds. And a lot of times you'll see the players reach out with their stick. That doesn't matter. It's the player's body. Physically, where were you when the ball went out of bounds? Were you the closest? Here is Spencer against Hooper. Spencer, a Tewaaraton finalist for the 2nd consecutive year. That's the Heisman of lacrosse. Or as we say during football season, the Heisman is the Tewaaraton of football.
It's the Hobie Baker Award in hockey.
Shot and a goal off the feed from Spencer. Kevin Lindley is 34th of the year. What defenses are doing, read the double team well that time, Quint.
Step down success. Starts with Krause, 2 in orange. Seems like he wants to go right-handed tonight. He draws the double, gets by the shorty Begley. The defense rotates, but it's too late. Perfect pass right into the sweet spot. More catch, hop step, rotate, turn, and rake. Pretty goal.
Krause, the ACC Freshman of the Year last season. Moore, the ACC Freshman of the Year this season. Orafice and Schwenk locked up again. Virginia's won 5 of 9 at the dot. 6 out of 10. Schwenk, the Monmouth transfer, flips it to the wing. Now you see the long pole. Jared Connors out on offense for Virginia. This is something UVA likes to do. They'll play 5-on-5. Now Connors will run off. And Aiken joins the fray along with Herring and Quinn for the midfield unit. Here's Quinn. He's got a goal tonight. Krause got a step. Shot and a save by Stover. Krause to the deck. Loose ball picked up by Loyola. Here come the Greyhounds. McNulty pushing in transition. McNulty, shot and a goal! Ryan McNulty, his 4th of the season.
Everybody talks about Virginia as a running team, but the Hounds can do it as well. How about the save by Stover, moving his body so well. McNulty's off to the races. Hooper, 25 in orange, has got to respect Spencer. So McNulty scores his 4th goal of the game. Orafice the Fogo has scored. Loyola is getting major contributions from non-offensive players this year, Anish. 24 goals and 11 assists on the year.
And those are juice goals.
Bench goes ballistic.
Orafice wins the faceoff. Here he comes. Orafice accelerating all the way. Orafice! He's his 5th of the season against UVA. And Loyola in control, 7-3.
Someone get a stopwatch. How fast is Mike Orafice? He is floating on this Ridley surface. His 2nd goal. Look at the wheels right here. Gets a little lucky on that bounce. Does he step in the crease? No, he avoids the crease. And that ball just comes out of the stick really awkwardly.
Loyola hunts transition off of face-off wins. I know it's not in Lars Tiffany's DNA to double pull the face-off wings, but do you have to at least consider it to limit Loyola in transition if they win a face-off?
Well, I think they're assuming that they can run hip-to-hip with Orafice. Now that's twice he's blown by them like they're standing still. So what's important there, Anish, is your posture on the wings, your positioning to account for the speed. If he wins the draw, give up territory, get back in the hole. Point man's got to give him more respect and make him a passer.
The issue, though, isn't that you can't win draws against Orafice. He's under 42% on the season. It's when he wins it, he creates legitimate scoring opportunities. So, yeah, that 40%, not great on the surface, but when he's turning a lot of those into goals, that's a problem for Virginia.
Well, teams are hesitant to come off Loyola's point man, Patrick Spencer. There are other ways you can play a fast break. You can slide up from the low lefty position and then rotate behind it. That's what I might do. Rather see the ball in the freshman stick than Spencer's.
Here's Dre Powell. He's got 40 goals on the season, playing it up top. Duffy, Olmstead. Now Lindley at X.
A little bit of a danger zone now for Virginia.
Lindley against Jake Fox. John Fox, excuse me. Now McGovern. Slipping.
Jake Fox is tomorrow.
Jake Fox is tomorrow. Committee for Johns Hopkins. Here's Spencer. Spencer hits the turf, and we get a flag against Virginia.
Should have been no whistle. The ball was in Spencer's stick the whole time. Premature whistle. Look at Charlie Toomey.
They wave the flag off. We get a timeout by Lars Tiffany. 9:30 to go. Charlie Toomey upset, and rightly so. but his Greyhounds are running past Virginia. A couple of goals by Orefice. It's 7-3. The transition game has paid dividends so far for Loyola. By my count, Quint, 4 unsettled goals, 3 coming off face-offs.
And Mike Orefice, the senior out of Iona Prep, is a major weapon winning these face-offs. You saw McNulty, he was cherry-picking, gets the ball to Spencer. Watch the speed right here. Whoop! Roadrunner gets a fortuitous hop. Orefice's got a pair of goals, McNulty's got a goal, and Spencer scores. 3 face-off goals, 1 fast break goal. So we see these officials now trying to get some control. There's been a little bit of a guessing game with some of these calls.
We had a 2-hour, 15-minute weather delay. There was lightning in the area, so the start of this game was postponed. With Quint Kashnik and Ish Schroff, we want to apologize. We had some technical difficulties a little while back. You may have missed some of the game action. Looks like we've got that squared away. 7-3 the score. Loyola on top. Greyhounds right now running past Virginia. The winner will face Yale, along with the Eli's, Duke, and Albany also advancing today. And we've got 4 more games tomorrow. Maryland, Robert Morris, Notre Dame, Denver, Johns Hopkins, Georgetown. You and I will have that call. And then Syracuse and Cornell Sunday night from the Carrier Dome.
This looks like a Loyola extra man, Anish, as Virginia brings out their man-down personnel. So your biggest assignment here defensively for Virginia is what do you do with 7 in white, Pat Spencer?
30 seconds. Then we had to time out.
Do you shut them off?
Don't start. Okay, 20 yards.
It's a push on Dave Smith.
We're going to get it out. We've got 30 seconds on the push, right? 30 seconds on the push.
So it looks like it'll be a 30-second man up.
Similar to Pac-12 after dark.
Lax after dark. Did you bring any food items with you, Quint?
A lot of caffeine. A lot of caffeine.
How about Terry Foy inside Lacrosse? Made a Dunkin' Donuts run for us. Duffy and Drapow play catch.
Spencer being shut off. He drags his man inside.
Drapow over to Duffy. Now Spencer. Even strength. Smith running out of the box.
So that's one area I think Loyola could do a better job. I love Mark Van Arsdale, their offensive coordinator. But when opponents shut off Pat Spencer this season, they really haven't had great answers.
Spencer a goal and an assist so far. Duffy plays it back. Spencer withstands the hit. Gosh! As they say in hoops, and one. He's a big boy, Quint.
Going back to the Leonardo da Vinci Renaissance man comparison. We've seen the intelligence, the 2-man play. We've seen the speed. This is just power. He's absolutely rocked and moved about 5 yards from where he caught it. Look at that. That's great play defensively. Changes hands, switches to his left, and then goes sidearm and finds the upper corner like blind. Just knew where the goal was, but really couldn't see it. Yeah, just a magical play by Patrick Spencer.
A man of all seasons. He was only 5'4" as a high school freshman. Grew to be 6'3", a late bloomer, and that's why he didn't appear on the radar of a lot of big-time programs until later in his high school career. And with early recruiting, spots were already taken, and Loyola got really what is a transcendent talent.
It's a great example. You know, he played JV lacrosse as a 9th grader, and some folks here in Baltimore would say, oh wow, you know, but he got a lot of touches, picked up great experience, and that when he was a sophomore and then junior and senior, played around some great players at Boys Latin. but he was ready. So that year was really beneficial for him. Combine that with a growth spurt, you have a high-level player that Loyola was just fortunate to get.
P.J. Brown out of Cazenovia, New York, not too far from Syracuse. Pick from Spencer. Hooper trying to take away Spencer. Passes too high for the 6'4" Riley Cox. Cox and Virginia's Ian Laviano were high school teammates. Spencer against Hooper. Spencer 2 goals and an assist. Shot clock against Virginia. Spencer thought about attacking the double team. Instead, he finds Duffy. That shot deflected and backed up by Loyola. 22 on the clock. Greyhounds have connected on 8 of their 16 shots. Here's Brown. Make it 9 out of 17.
That's a stinger, and Lars Tiffany knows it. Shot clock is on, and P.J. Brown, they call him Butters, junior from Cazenovia. Loyola, you talk about Pat Spencer, but he's not the only one. You know, this is a coaching staff that finds diamonds in the rough, and they develop players. They spend a ton of time in the weight room. When I was at practice Wednesday, they had an hour weightlifting session before practice. Player development is one thing that Loyola does just about as good as anybody else, Anish.
But it starts with Spencer, and you mentioned he is like Da Vinci in cleats, a Renaissance man, capable of so much.
He's fun to watch because he checks so many of the boxes in terms of vision, the ability to set up his teammates and make them better players. And sometimes I'm not even sure how he sees them. His eyes are looking in one direction, the next thing you know, the ball's put on a stick. Creativity. He can play out of the textbook, but he's also got a lot of Picasso in him. And then athleticism. I think you saw that on that last goal. His ability to deal with defensive pressure. Look at the change of direction, the burst, and the backhanded shot. And, well, that's his roots on the basketball court.
2 goals and an assist tonight. Not to take anything away from Picasso, but Da Vinci, Mona Lisa, The Last Supper.
Well, you know, Picasso's a guy who started out painting with an eye on the textbook, to the standard of the era. And as he matured, he developed his own style. And I think that's what we're seeing Spencer do.
Picasso evolved. You look at his early work, man in the beret, very much along classical lines, but you're right, the evolution into the blue and the rose period, and later Guernica, the cubism that he's known for, inventing a genre. And Pat Spencer, talking to Charlie Toomey on Friday, he said, listen, Spencer's every bit as good as the all-time greats. And Charlie Toomey has seen a lot of lacrosse. He's played against all-time talents. He's gone up against the Gate brothers. High praise, and Spencer only a junior. He's going to have a chance next year to break the all-time assists record currently held by Lyle Thompson.
He's seen it all, too, in the Patriot League. I mean, he gets face guarded on a weekly basis. He's double-teamed off the bus, and he handles it. His emotional maturity has stood out this season.
I talked to one Patriot League coach this week who told me the problem with finding a plan against Spencer is that his lacrosse IQ, Spencer's lacrosse IQ, is so high, he'll adjust. And then you've got an innovative and intelligent assistant coach in Mark Van Arsdale, who runs the Loyola offense, who also knows how to adjust and improvise. So you need to come with a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, and you know what? At the end of the day, none of those will work. Lindley and the Loyola offense working tonight. Double-digit goals for the Greyhounds with 6 minutes plus to play in the first half.
Terrific fan base here in North Baltimore.
6:05 remaining in the second quarter. Greyhound goal number 31.
Unnecessary. Dead ball. No face off. Ball belongs to White.
Talked about their
minute.
ability to
Always
pass
good.
the ball.
No
What a great
face-off.
assist team they are. 31, Lindley's working hard inside. Look at him. He never stops moving. Zippy passing. Fearless over the middle. Yeah, I'll pay the price. You can take my body. I'm bouncing up, and we're celebrating our 9th goal, 10th goal. Loyola clicking right now, putting on a clinic.
Unnecessary roughness.
And it keeps getting worse for Virginia.
Automatic possession, Loyola.
Unnecessary roughness on Ambrosino. And another man-up opportunity here for Loyola. They've got a chance to make this an 8-goal advantage. Still plenty of time to go in the first half. Virginia walking into an ambush. Drapeau trying to go high, looking for that top corner.
Yes, sir. That's a spot, Anish. Amazing that Drapeau can continue to have success with that same shot when goalies know it's coming on tape.
Drapau's got a goal tonight. He's scored at least 2 in all but 2 games this year. Olmstead trying to get away, finding Spencer, and that was a rare miss and a good look by Spencer.
Virginia timeout.
We get a timeout by Lars Tiffany. 5:25 to go in this first half.
40 or 45, right?
The 5th Formula One race on the season is the Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. Sunday morning, 9:05 Eastern on ESPN2, and presented commercial-free. And if you're going to go to the race, you can check out the great Picasso Museum in Barcelona. Mark Van Arsdale is the assistant coach for Loyola. He handles the Greyhounds offense. He spent a lot of time at Virginia with Dom Starsia. And talking to Coach Van Arsdale at practice yesterday, he said, this game is weird for him. He recruited pretty much everybody on this Virginia roster. And when you think of early recruiting in college lacrosse, a lot of these relationships go back to sometimes even before these kids were in high school. And he's known them for a long time. He knew Doc Sakian and Michael Krause. He was telling me, I just want the game to begin.
I think that game to start this season in East, where he was back in Charlottesville, Klockner, visually to the senses was a lot harder than this game tonight. He's one of the best in the business.
No question.
Talented offensive coordinator who has a history of developing All-American caliber players in high-scoring units. He's done wonderful work. This is a Loyola coaching staff, quite frankly. I think it's top 5, if not top 3 in the country, between Coach Toomey, Mark Van Arsdale, Matt Dwan handling the defense, and then the unsung hero, Steve Vakeness, for years has been Charlie Toomey's right-hand man as the volunteer assistant working on face-offs. I could not have been more impressed with what I saw watching them operate on a Wednesday afternoon.
It's a 7-goal lead for Loyola. Now remember, back on the 10th of February when these two teams played, Loyola had a 5-goal lead and gave it away. Virginia came back and ended up winning in double overtime. Virginia's capable of scoring and scoring quickly, but they've been playing with one hand tied behind their back for most of the night here. Greyhound still on the man up. Here's Spencer. And now we're back to even strength. Spencer feeding the crease. Ball is dislodged. Will Rock has it. Problem for Virginia right now, they're not getting the ball. They're not getting any offensive shots. And a failed clear gives it right back to Loyola. Contact, we get a whistle and a flag.
Wow, why isn't this a loose ball push?
I was wondering the same thing.
Red, 3-4, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
That's right, it wasn't a loose ball push. They call it unnecessary roughness. Lars Tiffany peeved. Take another look. Ooh, that's close.
It's a loose ball push every day of the week and on Sundays, especially in the NCAA tournament. I'm sorry. There was nothing vicious about that. The guy ran up his back. It's a loose ball push.
Lars Tiffany riding the officials right now. You can't blame him. Just compounds things for Virginia.
45.
Spencer to Duffy. Back to Spencer. There's Logan Devereaux, 6'4" sophomore. It comes to Hooper.
All right, another stop by Virginia.
Can they clear?
It's been good play, bad play too often tonight, Anish. They got to tie good play to good play to good play. That's how you stop an opponent run and you go on one of your own.
We told you about Loyola's.
Like that. Very lucky.
Aiken pushing, now Kraus. And let's see if Virginia can get a shot on this offensive possession. The cause turnovers by Loyola's defense have been a factor. The ride has been a factor. And Virginia, again, missing Ryan Conrad. They haven't had him for a while. They adjusted, but they miss him in a game like this. It's been almost 8 minutes since Virginia's last shot. Stafford against Mintzlaff. Mintzlaff has that long frame for a short stick D-midi. Now Aiken. I think Aiken just wanted to shoot. He has not had many opportunities tonight.
Loyola's defense does not have a weak link.
Kraus. Huggins got to watch out for the trail check. Moves over to Moore. And a save by Stover. I think Loyola will give that shot to Virginia all night. You want to take it from the outside with Moore? Aiken comes away with it. Virginia's got numbers. Aiken slams on the brakes. Quint, that 2012 team for Loyola, the strength was the defensive midfield. Hawkins, Laconi, Ratliff. That's the strength this year as well. Spencer's great. Drapow's great. They've got weapons. But the seniors, Davliakos, Begley, and Mintzlaff, all captains, part of an elite rope unit.
The continuity of this unit.
Matt Moore's second, beating the short stick. And Virginia ends what was a 5-0 run by Loyola.
Failure to clear comes back and haunts the Greyhounds. Moore's got a pair of goals, and it's really the second time that we've seen success dodging from behind the goal. Invert scenarios. Moore beats Begley topside with a speed move off a pick. That'll be a strategy that Virginia will go to, because at times this season Loyola's invert defense has been a little subpar, I should say.
I had one coach tell me that is Loyola's Achilles heel. You can invert them. Go back to Loyola's last loss against Bucknell on March 24th. Bucknell used the invert to really exploit Loyola, but Charlie Toomey told me on Friday they've worked a lot on their invert defense since then.
They had a week off after winning the Patriot League tournament. It's a Loyola team. 3 losses on the year. Virginia to open it. Duke, where the Blue Devil midfielders Brad Smith and Peter Conley dominated the second half. And then that Bucknell game in conference. The only blemishes for the Hounds.
Loyola's won 7 in a row.
They have championship weekend history in their back pocket. 2 years ago, they played in the semifinals and lost to North Carolina. So you've got, what, a pair of classes who have been to the big dance. Coaching staff that own a gold ring. That matters.
Here comes Spencer, loses Hooper. Spencer, back to the left hand. Rhodes stopped it, finally finds it. The outlet to Connors. There's Laviano, had 5 goals against Loyola in the opener. His collegiate debut. 1 minute to go in the half. A first half dominated by Loyola on the Greyhounds' home turf. Kraus draws Huggins out. Huggins leading the nation in caused turnovers. Kraus stays with it and denied. And And we get a flag against Loyola with 35.3 to go.
Last 2 minutes has been much better for the Cavaliers.
That's on white. 2-0/1 minute.
Huggins is a relentless pest. Krause is a bulldozer that doesn't take no for an answer. Throwing himself towards the paint, towards the middle of the defense. Willing to take punishment. He won that round by being aggressive.
If you're Virginia, do you try to score here or hold the ball and get possession to start the second half? DeMario, 20 seconds. DeMario on the doorstep for the goal. And a couple of late goals toward the end of this first half. Maybe some momentum going into the locker room for Virginia as they try to get back into this game.
Nice looking extra man goal. Ironically, the bench was saying, easy, easy. Well, here's where this play is made. The diagonal pass right here. Keep your eye on the backside player right here. Roll it. Nice looking seam pass, a gutsy play. DeMario with the layup.
.4 seconds to go. Virginia trying to tie up Orifice, who's got 2 goals off of a face-off win. This one picked up by McNulty. He's got a goal, but time expires, and half number 1 comes to an end. Charlie Toomey's Greyhounds, unfazed by a weather delay of more than 2 hours. 10 first half goals. Lindley and Spencer had a pair. Orifice and the long pole McNulty getting in on the action. Can Virginia bottle up some momentum for the third quarter after a couple of late first half goals?
Battles, and next thing you know, you're running out of your zone with transition. That gets the bench on fire. That's what breeds a comeback.
When these two teams played in the season opener, Virginia was able to rally from a 5-goal third quarter deficit. Can they do it again? Orifice's got 2. Saved by Rode. Orifice had a hat trick in that season opener against Virginia. He has 9 goals on the season, 5 against the Cavaliers.
The Cavaliers would prefer a game that kind of goes sideways and off the rails. But that starts with playing good aggressive defense.
Here comes Dox Aiken without a point. Mike DeMario pushed back by Brian Begley, 17 and white. A history major. He's going to go to UPenn next year because he wants to be a doctor, going to take more classes along the lines of the pre-med route. And even right now with some of his classwork with those labs, biology classes, he's got to miss practice, has to miss workouts, makes up for it coming in on his own time. Dislodged by Harkins.
There he is, pulling that ball out of traffic, 4.0 GPA.
8 turnovers for Virginia. Mintzlaff. Mintzlaff grew up having moved around the country 9 times, both parents in the Air Force. Olmsted to Lindley, and it comes to Rode. Well, this is the pace Virginia wants. They thrive on chaos. Krause against Huggins. Krause only 1 assist in the first half. Huggins leading the nation in caused turnovers. Only player in the country that causes more than 3 turnovers per game. And And he's doing it with a left knee that has had multiple surgeries and repairs. 3 torn ACLs. Laviano didn't get the handle. It comes back to Loyola. Alex Johnson, the sophomore from Minnesota.
Nice play.
Drapeau gets it back. Loyola settles.
Well read by Davliakos and Drapeau. They sniffed it out. They gave it a look. They pushed it. It wasn't there. Hey, let's be smart. We got the lead. We got the ball.
Hooper shadows Spencer.
This team has a lot of championship qualities. The ability to win playing fast. The ability to win playing slow. We can beat you in a low-scoring D game, and we can get to teens. Multifaceted, the Loyola Greyhounds.
And they've got a superstar in Spencer. That one hit the crossbar off the cross of Drapeau.
Drapeau. Again, you go to practice, a couple things stand out. Wow, Patrick Spencer's really big. Foster Huggins, for a great player, he's small, he's tiny. Drapeau gets tremendous velocity from about a 155-pound frame. Tremendous wrists and torque. A little like Sawyer, if you remember.
Yeah, Mike Sawyer on the 2012
Sawyer,
team.
yeah.
Sawyer and Lusby was the dynamic duo. Flag against Virginia. Spencer. Lindley with his third. And it's 11-5.
Lindley can't miss.
Shoots better than 50% on the season.
This is a stinger for Virginia because they're going to pick up a penalty right there as Hooper just brutalizes the pick. You see the yellow flags fly. Lindley straight over the top. Rode gets a piece, and that ball trickles in to add injury to insult.
And for Pat Spencer, he continues to climb the all-time assist chart. He's now tied Cornell's Eamon McEnany for 12th on the all-time list. Already as a junior, the Patriot League's all-time leader in assists and points. And as we mentioned in the first half, Spencer has a great shot next year to leave college as the all-time assist leader in Division I.
So Loyola on the man up. Let's see how they play this now. How aggressive are they with the extra man? They're going to double the ball here. They're going to press out. Conservative approach from Coach Toomey. They just keep 44 Mintzlaff in the slot area as a designated backer.
Hooper in the box for Virginia. Less than 30 seconds on the Loyola man up. Loyola not really pressing out.
Think about how important a man up, man down face-off is.
Given Virginia's quick strike offense, still a lot of time for UVA to make a comeback. They did against Loyola in the regular season, but it just has not been a clean game for Lars Tiffany's squad. 37 in orange, Mitch Gordon getting a run. Moore's got 2 goals against McNulty. Now Aiken still looking for his first point against Harkins. Moore spinning. Working against Volant, who knocks it away. Big ground ball. Moore knocks it away, but it comes to Mintzlaff. Mintzlaff all the way. Saved by Rode. A rebound in front. We get a warding off against Loyola, and Virginia catches a break. Regan Quinn, the freshman, subs on for Virginia.
Virginia's got 3 Griffins and a lot of guys with double last names.
Flag coming against Loyola. Stafford fights his way through a double, and now we get the penalty.
Number 8, slash, 1 minute.
1 minute slash on the sophomore from Marietta, Georgia, Matt Higgins. Give the Greyhounds and their defensive staff a ton of credit. Michael Krause and Doc Aiken through 2.5 quarters have been non-factors offensively. Virginia went too quick, so they'll have to start again.
Yeah, clock issue.
A 1 minute man up. Aiken will initiate. Virginia 39% with the extra man this season. Aiken and Herring have combined for 9 man-up goals. Here's Aiken. Over to Quinn. Now Herring from X. Aiken, too high.
Excellent defense. Your 2 fundamentals when your man down is take away the crease and deny any through or skip passes. If you do that, pretty confident you'll give your goalie a chance to make a save on an outside shot.
Aiken rolling to his left. Huggins chasing him. Feed to the crease. How about the defense by Begley? Laviano with an opening, saved by Stover. Rebound loose in front. Loyola swarming to the ball. Aiken comes away with the loose ball, shooting high. And Virginia awarded the backup on the hustle by Laviano. 5 seconds left on the extra man for Virginia. Cavaliers down 6. And we're back to 6-on-6.
Nice D by the guys in white, and that fires up their bench. Those mini victories.
Krause with a mini victory for Virginia to make it 11-6, his first goal of the evening. And is that the spark to get UVA's catalyst going?
A spinning spark by Krause. He's so tough. Look at him roll to the inside, deal with the hook, re-trigger, and find net.
The winner of this first round matchup will take on Yale in Hempstead, New York in the quarterfinals next week. And of course, the winner of that quarterfinal will head to championship weekend. Yale last reached the semifinals in 1990 with John Reese, and that team lost to Charlie Toomey and Loyola. Toomey, the goalie for Loyola, in that classic 1990 semifinal, played in rain-soaked conditions at Rutgers. There's Lars Tiffany. Needs his team to walk through the gates of fire, down by 5.
How do you start a run? Well, it starts with ground ball play and defense.
Virginia #1 nationally in ground balls per game. And able to win the faceoff. Nice wing play by Harris. Gates of Fire. It's a book on the 300 Spartans who held off the Persian army and won a famous battle at Thermopylae. And it's mandatory reading for Virginia. And every Tuesday they would discuss it with one position group doing a presentation. This week, because of finals, they had to push their culture day to Thursday, and it was the goalie's turn. And Lars Tiffany has talked to us about Gates of Fire and how that has become a metaphor for his team. He told us the Spartans each had a spear and a shield. The spear was your weapon. The shield was to protect your teammate.
Don't come home without your shield.
Come home with it or on it. Kraus. And another ground ball picked out of the air by Mintzlaff. Jared Mintzlaff, senior captain, finance major, 3.9 GPA.
Illinois, I like him a lot. Took a PG year at Salisbury. She said earlier his dad was in the military, so he kicked around a lot. He's already got a job lined up in Boston, but he's big and strong, 6'2", 200. Like a shorty we'll see tomorrow, Ryan Hersey of Georgetown. And I think this combination of Begley and Mintzlaff nationally up there. Very, very dialed in fundamentally, technically and tactically.
Throw in Davliakos, another senior, another captain. 3 of the 4 Loyola captains come from that starting defensive midfield.
And McNulty's a star in the future, 55 in white.
That's a good name for a Baltimore area team, McNulty.
Stay out of the box, fellas. Number 10, please, thank you.
Duffy shot that hit Rode, and Olmsted tracks it down.
Rhode's been good. He really has, coming off that subpar game in the ACC finals, but he was great in the semi, so it's been that type of year for a freshman. Little up, little down.
Rode did not play against Loyola in the season opener. Griffin Thompson got the start. Now Spencer will isolate Hooper behind the cage. Gets the pick from McGovern. Matt Spencer loose as water. Feeds the crease, and he finds Drapeau for the goal. You watch Spencer play, Quint, it's like he's 20 seconds ahead of everybody.
He, you know, his comfort level this season with playing in some games that he doesn't get high touch volume, and yet still getting to 2 and 4, 3 and 5 is amazing. Working on the goal line extended with his eyes up. Well-timed cut by Drapeau. Puts it right on the spot where only his man can one-touch that in the old-school quick stick. I mean, Pat Spencer, in a year of the attackman, this is going to be a tough choice Tewaaraton-wise when you got a Spencer, Jeff Teat not included on the list, Justin Gutterding, huge points.
Forget the numbers, forget the Tewaaraton for a minute.
Yeah. If there was a Major League Lacrosse draft tomorrow, Pat Spencer, I believe, would be the #1 choice.
There you go.
He will be the #1 choice next year, and the question is, does he play pro lacrosse indoor and outdoor, or, as you said earlier, does he return to Loyola or transfer for that 5th year where he could play basketball? And the folks here think he's in Loyola's rotation as a top 8 player, mid-major Division I hoops.
Yeah, after playing 4 years of lacrosse, as Regan Quinn hits the side of the net.
You weren't the only one tricked there, and the refs blew their whistle.
Did I call a goal?
That was actually for you. You're making huge progress in those types of goals this
That's
year.
where I've worked in the offseason. No more.
Again, read the goalie's body language first. You'll get a sense of it, but read the goalie's body language. Stover's no fool, and he turns and looks for it, and I'm saying, if it's not there, Jake, you're going to look like a fool, because you start fishing at the net and it's on the wrong side of the net, that's not a good day for you.
He got it, though.
He got it right. In practice, they always kept an extra ball hidden there.
Begley draws the slide, and now Loyola will reset on offense. It's a patient offense you see from the Greyhounds.
Well,
but I think they pick their spots
that's
well
what
when
I'm
they
saying.
gamble.
They know when to run, exactly. Whether it's off a face-off or a clean save or run out. And then they can play this methodical brand of ball.
Olmsted. Aiden Olmsted in high school played golf, played badminton, and also 10 years of travel hockey. You ever play badminton, Quint?
A lot, actually. Love it. My sister was an excellent badminton player.
Shot clock against Loyola. Is it hard to control the shuttlecock?
Not at all. It's a good game for hand-eye coordination, conditioning. You get some of those long rallies, tactics.
What about on a windy day? Is it tough?
Yeah.
Playing outside?
Yeah, you don't want to be playing on a windy day. Stick to croquet on a windy day, Anish.
There's Spencer. 2 goals, 3 assists. 6 seconds on the shot clock, but Virginia had the backup. Less than 2 minutes to go in the third. A 5-goal halftime lead for Loyola, now a 6-goal advantage. Yale will get the winner next week. Doc Sakin. Shot was altered by Mintzlaff.
My car! That thing's out in the parking lot. Trail Check City right here, up on the hill. Left side of your screen. Never quit. We've seen those Loyola defenders time and time again, whether they're shorty or a pole, just reach around and wait.
Harkins, Lindley, his 4th, and Loyola pours it on 13-6.
Talked about Loyola's ability to be aware of pace. When do we gun it? When do we hit the brakes? Ryder Harkins, Pennsylvania native, a senior. Down low to the young freshman. Lindley's got a little of that second bar syndrome going. He got that helmet on the anti-flow look. It's kind of sitting back. And he may look a little awkward, but man, he's been super productive this season. Number 72 recruit in the IL Power 100 coming in. Played for Team Eclipse, former Loyola star, Jamie Booger Hanford. His picture's on the wall here. One of my favorites all time. One of the top nicknames also, all time. The Booger.
Lindley this year in a game against Holy Cross set a Patriot League and Loyola freshman record with 8 goals. Comes from an athletic family. Dad was a baseball captain at Yale. Mom, an All-American in lacrosse and field hockey at UMass. And today, Lindley, who's got the ball now, 4 goals. He's done it on 5 shots. Spencer setting the pick as Hooper tries to shut him off. 30 seconds to go in the third. Loyola up by 7. That matches the Greyhounds' largest lead of the game. They led 10-3 at one point. Lindley looking for a cutting Spencer. Comes back to Duffy. Kick to the wing. Spencer will back up, less than 5 seconds to go. Spencer quickly against Hooper. Spencer fires wide, and that takes us to the end of quarter number 3. The Greyhound bus rolling Virginia 13-6 through 3 quarters. Loyola's got to take a 7-goal lead to the finish line to set up a quarterfinal date with Yale. Day 1, round 1 of the 2018 NCAA tournament. Jackson Morrill, 7 goals for Yale. As the Eli's outlasted UMass, Yale will get the winner of this Virginia-Loyola game. Duke dropped 17 on Villanova, and if you're Rutgers, Ohio State, or Bucknell watching that game, you have to sit back and think, we probably could have done better. Nakai Montgomery, the freshman from Dallas, with a hat trick. Connor Fields, 2 goals, 5 assists. His health a big question for Albany. The Dane train into the quarterfinals for the 4th time in 5 years. And that's going to be a big theme next weekend, especially with the likes of Yale and Albany. Can they get over that hump? Yale with the senior class finally won an NCAA tournament game. Can they get to championship weekend? Albany has yet to get to championship weekend with an opportunity either against Denver or Notre Dame.
Look, we've all filled out our ballots. The one trend I will tell you from about the last half dozen years, teams who don't play great first-round games and still win rarely win their second-round games. You got to be firing on all cylinders right now. Loyola's doing that. The only negative in this performance is their extra man that's 0 for 5. I look at Yale doing a great job. The only negative today, goaltending. It was around 40%. So in a year where no one's perfect, it's critical that you be firing at your maximum.
Alex Rode, another save for Virginia.
How many teams are good enough, Anish, next week in the quarterfinals to win a game while not playing well? I don't think
sure
anyone
there's anybody.
Exactly. I don't think anyone is powerful enough to show up and play a B- and still win.
We were in New York City last weekend for the Ivy League tournament. After watching Yale dismantle Penn in the semifinals on Friday night, it appeared that Yale was the team to beat. They checked off all the boxes.
2 thumbs up.
Then inexplicably they lose by 6 Sunday to Cornell.
My only thought,
Dox Aiken makes it a 13-7 game for Virginia.
Aiken's been quiet. Some may blame the relaxing with Clark's jinx.
He gets really salty when you say that.
Gets underneath Minsloff, and for whatever reason, you know, Loyola's been an aggressive double teaming team as we see, and for whatever reason, there's no help there. Clark does get testy, and Dox has had a fantastic year.
In fact, the best season points-wise by a Virginia midfielder. With that goal, he now has 48 points, one better than Matt Pasquet, who had 47 back in 2006. So this is the highest scoring season by a Virginia midfielder.
More than J. Gilbert, David Curry.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Virginia. If they don't win tonight, now the future is where it's at for this team.
Agreed.
Ryan Conrad comes back. You still have 2 more years of Aiken and Kraus. Laviano will be a sophomore next year. Even the long poles, Rock and Connors, both
Their
young,
best
a freshman
2 classes
and a sophomore.
are their freshman and sophomore classes, by far.
Spencer shooting wide. More than 70% of the offense this year has come from freshmen and sophomores. I forgot to mention Matt Moore, the ACC Rookie of the Year.
You got a freshman goalie, he'll get better. Schwank comes back. So Lars Tiffany staff of Kerwin and Kip Turner, I think they've turned the corner with this program. I think those wins in the ACC tournament, getting into the tournament, and then winning that game are critical. Culture moving in the right direction, and young talent.
Remember, coming into this season, the Virginia seniors had 0 ACC wins. Got Donkey Kong off their back with a regular season win against UNC. Then beat Syracuse in the ACC tournament. Back in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015. Progress was made, and what Lars told us, to echo what you said, the culture is now in place. Now you build off that. Now you've got to get back to being what Virginia was, which is a national power and a championship contender.
Look, I like their style. Quite frankly, it's reliant on possessions, whether it be ground balls, face-offs, or goaltending. And given their affinity for high turnover numbers, it's not quite where it needs to be. You can't surrender the ball 20 times a game.
Aiken with his second. Couple of fourth quarter goals for Dox Aiken. It's 13-8, and let's not write off Virginia just yet. 11:50 to go. They've got the weapons and the ammo to strike quickly.
This is doable. Big Dox Aiken gets to the middle once again and puts that one to a perfect spot off the hip of Jake Stover. 6'2", 210, Haverford School. Made that big incremental jump up as sophomore middies so often do.
Mom and dad both played lacrosse. Aiken, in his collegiate debut last year against Loyola, scored 4 goals. This year, scored the game winner in double overtime. Schwenk wins a faceoff. Actually, that's Luke Brugel. He took the majority of the draws against VMI in Virginia's last game. UVA rested a lot of its regulars. Other next year as well. They've done it the last 5 years. Virginia winning 4 times, all by 1 goal.
Loyola now in his own defense, it appears.
So what's Virginia's counter against the zone?
I like the ball behind, and then someone's got to dodge a crease right here to draw the D. Ball movement.
Moore with a bouncer off the turf, backed up by Herring.
So by dodging a crease, when you draw 2 men, that means the defense behind it has to rotate. And then you can beat it with circular passing or skip passing, diagonals.
Herring's pass deflected and taken away.
Loyola spent a lot of time. They had the bye week, Anish. Their Patriot League championship was a week early. So they're fresh, rested, and they were able to self-scout and work on some items, and zone defense was one of them.
Drapow's got 2 goals today. 14 multi-goal games for Drapow. This is Loyola's 16th game of the season.
He doesn't get as much respect nationally as his play deserves. 4 and white, Jay Drapow.
41 goals as a midfielder.
School record for middies.
This is Drapow against Zach Ambrosino. Now P.J. Brown, junior from Cazenovia, New York. Takeaway by Connors. Connors has 5 goals. Plays it to the wing, and Virginia cuts it to 4. Laviano.
Here we go. Fans on their feet. This margin is no big deal. All day long, I've been saying, transition starts with defense. It's making stops, creating turnovers, and runouts. Great handle by Connors. He put that ball right on the money. Terrific decision and execution. And Laviano has got the sweet spot from that right wing.
That is the 6th assist of the season for Connors, who also has 5 goals. When Lars Tiffany was at Brown, he had 2 exemplary polls who triggered the transition game in Alec Tullett and Larkin Kemp. Will Rock and Connors have flashed some potential. Lars is never going to get another Tullett and Kemp at the same time, but might have something special the next couple of years with Connors.
Oh, he does.
And Rock.
Will Rock, air traffic control, big number 9 down below. Can knock down a lot of passes, rangy. And Connors dynamic in the middle third of the field.
Still a lot of time left. 9 minutes to go. Loyola's led by as many as 7. Duffy against Rock. Duffy out of Portland, Oregon. Oregon turning into a place that's produced some pretty good lacrosse players. Peter Baum from Oregon, won a Tewaaraton at Colgate.
Tucker Dordovic, Syracuse, plays tomorrow night, 7:15 right here in the U.
A hard shot from up top.
Guess who?
Duffman.
You mentioned Portland. I was fortunate enough to go out to the Ride, which was a Nike event 3 and 4 years ago. And I met John Duffy when he was a junior in high school. And I remember getting on the phone after the event and telling some assistant coaches back east, I'm like, I just saw this middie out at the Ride. I'm not sure anyone's recruiting him, but his intelligence, his ability to play without the ball, his work ethic, I loved everything I saw from John Duffy, and Loyola was smart enough to reel him in. He's become a big-time player, Anish. Look at his numbers.
That was his 25th goal of the season. Dad, EJ, played for 4 years as a starter on the Oregon football team. A 5-goal cushion for Loyola, 8.5 to go in regulation. Aiken's got 2 in the fourth quarter.
So many young players, you see what they can do when the ball's in their stick or they're covering the ball. What I liked about Duffy in those limited practices, I watched him when he didn't have it, and he did all the right things. Always moving, cutting.
Loyola has 4 captains. Duffy, the only junior captain, as Kraus gets sandwiched. Virginia still has it. Aiken. And now we'll get the penalty. Starting to get a little chippy.
Lax after dark. Had a lot of these meetings tonight, Anish.
Recreating the Yalta Conference.
Loyola had a 10-3 lead, a 13-6 lead.
Quint, I think the message here is if you can wait 2+ hours through a weather delay, you can wait for the officials to figure out what's going on.
We have 2 fouls on the play. The first foul is on white. 4, hold, 30 seconds. The second foul is on white. 3, 4, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
So 2 penalties, one against Mintzlaff, one against Stavliakos. And if you're Virginia, this is your last best chance to get back into the ballgame.
They got it right there. Now the deal with Loyola's defense, you've got 4 men and Jake Stover, your goalie. So you're in a box formation, and you may have to tilt it into a diamond. You've talked about this scenario all week. Who are the outside shooters that I fear? Well, I fear Dox Aiken. I fear Reagan Quinn. And you as a goalie will talk to your assistant coach like, okay, these are the guys I prefer to get the shot.
Kraus. Aiken on the wing. Quinn, a save by Stover, who gets the ball back. That's not the shot you want if you're Virginia there.
No, it was good defense. They kind of slow played it and gave him the real estate.
Stover falls down, trying to escape from Labiano. Now we get a flag. Stover heaves it downfield. Picked up by Loyola. And Lindley's going to try to play keep away. Still 15 seconds left. Loyola down 2 men. Oh, what a stand this would be. This would be a backbreaker for Virginia.
Not all saves created equal. And then the handle.
That Loyola bench fired up. Now Virginia had a window to get back into this game. A 2-man advantage, and now it's even strength. Loyola's got the ball, 6.5 to play, and the Greyhounds with a 5-goal lead. Shot clock on Loyola. Spencer, pipe. That will satisfy the shot clock. They have not reset it, but it should be reset. There is a flag down.
/1 minute.
So Loyola plays excellent defense. They maintain their structure. They force the outside shot, and Stover crosses over and makes a pretty good stop. He controls his rebound, falls to the ground. And there you take a look at Jake. He's cool and calm, just like his old man.
That's his dad, Matt Stover.
His dad.
Longtime kicker in the NFL.
His
Won
mom.
Super Bowl with the Ravens.
I see his mom at the gym quite a bit. She loves the spin classes. She teaches a couple of them.
And Jacob Stover is a pupil of yours.
Yeah, he was. I was kind of a bridge between
He fired you?
McDonough and Loyola. I worked with him a couple times last summer.
Okay.
But he was well taught by Andy Hillgartner at McDonough, and I just tried to kind of polish him before handing him off to Charlie Toomey. So we worked for about 2 summers. Kid always showed up ready to work, Anish, I'll tell you that much. Had an appetite for information and an appetite to work, quite honestly. I tried to be as tough as I could. I tried to teach him what he was going to face when he got to college. You know, what's practice going to be like? What are the expectations going to be like?
I remember as a freshman, he was not the starter at the get-go. Eventually took over as the starting goalie on a team that reached the semifinals. Aiken can't work out of a double team. That's been the formula for Loyola.
Their pinch double teams are about as good as it gets.
And another penalty coming against Virginia.
They stay on their doubles. A lot of teams will double and then the first man releases, recovers back to the defensive formation. Loyola stays on it. They create a lot of turnovers. So I think offensively, Yale's got to be working this week on how to deal with double teams. If you're a Dodger, you got to deal with the double team. I beat my man fine, but now the next guy comes in the picture. What are my options?
Yale will be the opponent, barring a Loyola meltdown. We get another shot clock, but right now Loyola trying to milk some clock. They got a flag coming against Virginia. Give me your first impressions of Yale Loyola.
I'm not sure what the experts would say.
2 on the orange, slash, 1. 2
Based on what I've seen over the last 2 weeks, I'd rate Loyola as a half goal or 1 goal favorite. I think Yale's a little bit more physical team. They're going to try to bang you around. They're going to try to use their size. Chris Fake will cover Spencer. I doubt that the Bulldogs will do any kind of junk defenses. It's not.
That's going to be a matchup
who
to
they
watch
are.
too. Fake against Spencer.
I think an advantage for Yale would be faceoffs with Connor Mackey.
Yeah. Timeout Virginia, 4:27 to go. Loyola up by 5. Yale awaits the winner.
The NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championships is brought to you by Coppertone. Coppertone Sport is proven to protect. Angry Orchard Hard Cider, naturally refreshing. And Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Inner Harbor in all her glory. 11:30 p.m. on the East Coast. 30 minutes until it's officially Mother's Day. And we have 4 more Mother's Day games for you on Sunday. It all begins with Robert Morris and Maryland at noon. Denver and Notre Dame follows. Then it's Georgetown, Johns Hopkins before the nightcap with Syracuse and Cornell from the Carrier Dome.
We get to listen before our game. We're on at 5, the Hopkins Georgetown, but we get to listen to Booker Corrigan and Mark Dixon at noon. So all you Booker Corrigan fans, set that DVR noon tomorrow from the big stadium.
Brush up on your 90s rap and your 90s movies. Maryland, should they advance tomorrow, would get the winner of Syracuse-Cornell. That should be a fun one Sunday night at the Carrier Dome. How does Syracuse guard Jeff Teat? Duffy shooting wide. A few seconds left on the Loyola man-up.
I disagree with Jeff Teat being kept off the Tawara time top 5. Why do we make it a top 5 list?
Why can't you have 7? Why can't you have 8? Why does it have to be 5?
Exactly. Why take a guy out of the mix who's relatively close to being in the mix before a playoff game. I just don't get it. Like the Heisman Trophy doesn't come out and say, "Oh, these 5 guys are our finals." Like you play it out till it's over. You know, I know they're looking for promotion, they're looking for PR, they're looking to generate headlines by news releases and to get us to talk about it. But you know,
How about this? How about
Jeff Teat's got to be on your list. I'm sorry.
How about you come out with a top 10 before the playoffs, and then right before championship weekend, you narrow it down to 3. Because playoff performance counts when handing out the Tewaaraton. Virginia's had a couple of Tewaaraton winners. Steele Stanwyck in 2011. Our colleague Matt Ward. Chris Rotelli, I believe, won it as well, didn't he?
Yeah, great performance. 2003 national title game in the slop.
And that was
Tillman Johnson overshadowed him that day.
That was at M&T
But Chris
Bank Stadium.
Rotelli was sensational, dissecting the Johns Hopkins defense.
That was my first trip to championship weekend, and I remembered Tillman Johnson, save after save, the acrobatics.
Virginia played zone because of the field conditions, and Tillman Johnson delivered. As Joe Beninati, our sideline reporters, Capizios were destroyed in the mud and muck of Ravens Stadium.
Those weren't cheap Capizios either. He didn't get those from the boys Latin Lost and Found.
No, sir.
Yale will get the winner of Loyola and Virginia. And we remind you, coverage of the NCAA championships continue this weekend on ESPNU. For more information on NCAA men's lacrosse, log on to ncaa.com.
Eating their pizza up in Yale, and the fans are going to be treated to just a marquee matchup of 2 guys I love watch play. Pat Spencer, we talk about the vision, the athleticism. He can glide and then burst. Ben Reeves is super fast. To see him in person, that was so cool to see the Ivy League in person, be down on the field. He's fast. I think he's going to be fast when he's a pro. I think that's how fast he is. I think he's like world-class fast for a lacrosse player.
2 of the premier offensive talents. And then you've got 2 of the best at their craft defensively.
Yeah.
Chris Fake, the freshman for Yale, Defensive Player of the Year in the Ivy League. And then Foster Huggins, who leads the nation in caused turnovers.
Great matchups.
Kevin Lindley is our Capital One Player of the Game. 4 goals on 5 shots.
2 programs that really from top to bottom, whether it's recruiting, player development, culture, such a strong sense of identity in how they want to do things and have been successful, dominant in their leagues for the past half decade, both Loyola and Yale.
And if past his prologue, we're going to have to dig up some grainy SD video from 1990 as Dax Aiken gets his 3rd goal of this 4th quarter. 1990, Yale and Loyola on a rain-soaked field played in the national semifinals. John Reese was the star for Yale, scored 82 goals that season, a Division I record that was tied by Miles Thompson a few years back. In goal for Loyola, Charlie Toomey.
Chuck Toomey wearing those, we were talking about those white sweats he used to wear. There's John Reese, the sockless John Reese. Charlie Toomey used to wear these shiny white sweats that he was so proud of, and he used to prance around. Charlie played with great energy.
That was an overtime thriller that Loyola won before the Greyhounds lost to Syracuse in the national championship, the 3rd of 3 consecutive titles by Syracuse, although that 90 title later vacated.
Loyola went on a great win streak that year, triggered by a loss at Penn State.
Now, does Virginia have a comeback in its bones here? That was an opportunity off the face-off.
So
that
the
Laviano
Greyhounds go up to Penn State. They lose a game they should have won. Coach had given them the sweat bottoms. He says, Coach Cottle, this is. Dave Cottle said, hey, we win this game, you guys, I'll give you the sweat tops after the game. Well, they lose the game 16-13. So no sweat tops.
No sweat tops.
And in fact, Cottle's so annoyed that he gets on the bus and said, I am not riding home with you losers. Cottle drives home separately from the team. The team's left on the bus. They commiserate. They talk it over. They go on a massive winning streak and find themselves in the national championship game.
Unbelievable.
The one and only Dave Cottle.
Loyola on its way with a 4-goal lead and a minute plus to go. Alex Rode out of the cage for Virginia. This Greyhound team, the juniors and seniors, got a taste of championship weekend 2 years ago. And for Yale, the pressure is going to be on the Bulldogs, Quint. The senior class with Ben Reeves, all the Ivy League championships, and all of the dominance in conference. Now the win today against UMass as Aiken gets another. The win today against UMass for Yale was just the second NCAA tournament win this decade by the Bulldogs. The first for this senior class, and we've said it, Yale, the expectation for them, championship weekend. Anything less than that has to be considered a disappointment as Doc Aiken comes to the sideline after a 4-goal fourth quarter.
And we talked about the young stars, how we believe, and the numbers show, the better players on this roster are sophomores and freshmen. And what Docs has done in this fourth quarter is a great way for him to end the year. And I think you saw that in the body language of Lars Tiffany putting his arms around him. Docs has had a terrific sophomore season now, and he can step up next year and beyond and become a first-team All-American type player and a Tewaaraton finalist, honestly. There's nothing standing in his way if he continues to put in the work. And from all reports, the kid's a workaholic.
And you know who's going to get the first look at Virginia next year? Loyola. They'll play in the regular season opener like they have the previous 5 seasons. Maryland, Robert Morris kicks off Sunday's coverage on ESPNU. Booker Corrigan, Mark Dixon will be on the call. Denver, Notre Dame will follow. Quint and I will be down Charles Street to call Hopkins and Georgetown, and then Cornell, Syracuse, the nightcap from the Carrier Dome. Denver, Notre Dame. Denver's been winning all the faceoffs with Baptiste. It hasn't translated into quality offense. Notre Dame right now, I think, is the hottest team going into the NCAA tournament. Played extremely well. They found their offense in Charlottesville in the ACC tournament.
Last year's game in the playoffs, the outlier, as Trevor Baptiste just dominated and made that a blowout. 7 of the last 10 in that series have been decided by 1 goal. And I'm leaning to that game probably being in the single digits. Then you got Johns Hopkins. We were at practice today. I thought the Jays looked sharp and loose. I like their energy. And we learned that Brock Turnbull's nickname is Buckets. And then he watches 3 episodes of The Office before every game.
You goalies are weird. And I asked him, what is your goalie superstition? And he said, I do things in 3s on the day of the game. He brushes his teeth 3 times.
Why?
Watches 3 episodes of The Office.
Why?
You're going to watch him pregame. With his stick, he bangs each of the posts 3 times.
And he's got that beard. Why?
His girlfriend wanted him to grow it.
And he says he's got a baby face. Baby face Brock and the Jays against Georgetown and Kevin Warren, the Crier. Tomorrow, 5 o'clock, ESPNU.
Matt Moore over to Connors. Hang on, 14-12.
Wow.
We saw Loyola get 2 goals in 12 seconds earlier in the game, and Virginia's going to need some face-off work from Schwenk.
This is going to leave a bad taste in Charlie Toomey's mouth this fourth quarter. You're up 13-6 now, and you've been outscored 6-1 in this quarter. Connors singeing a corner with some liquid smoke. Talked about his offensive game, but just look at the face right there. Not the way you want to end the game, and this will put a damper on this victory celebration for the Greyhounds, Anish.
Strong for 3 quarters, limping to the finish line. And that's what you want to do right now if you're Loyola. Orafice just tying up Schwenk, letting that clock run. And Loyola will prevail. Too little, too late for Virginia. The Greyhounds into the quarterfinals, where they will meet the Yale Bulldogs. Stir the echoes of 1990.